Hello everyone, this is Ms. Rosalind Das from Kalinga Institute of Nursing Science, KIIT Deemed University, and I'm working as assistant professor. And today I'm going to start a class course which is on the topic subject related to obstetrics and gynecological nursing. Here in this portion we will discuss some of the questions for example purpose. I will display some of the questions and discuss some of the questions which are relevant according to the all the examination not set kind of things or whatever comes in the question paper. So let's start the class. I hope you all will cooperate. So dear students, the first question given here is when does the frequency of maturation increases during the pregnancy? And the options are given here like first trimester, second trimester, third, and fourth one is the first and third trimester. So what do you think? What can be the answer? So if you think about the first, it is also right. If you think about second trimester, according to you this may be right. If you think about the third trimester also, this can be right. And if you think about option D also, that may be serve as a right answer. So let us see what is the right answer. The answer is option D, that is first and third trimester. So let me just explain why these things happens. Why does the frequency of maturation that increases? Because during the first trimester of pregnancy, all the burden or all the growing fetus that puts pressure on the bladder fundus, which creates a pressure over the bladder, leading to this frequency of maturation. And during the third trimester of pregnancy also, due to the gravid uterus, due to the presenting part of the fetus, as the fetus tries to go down, engage down, so that can cause or that leads to the frequency of maturation during the third trimester. So as you can see, our question was, when does the frequency of maturation increases during pregnancy? As I told you, if you could have said like first trimester, it can be okay. If you would say like second trimester, this is going to be definitely wrong. If you would say third trimester, it is okay, but the option is given as first and third trimester. So here the answer will be first and third trimester. Is it okay to all? Number 2. What can be the cause of recurrent abortion from the following? Listen to the question carefully. What can be the cause of recurrent abortion from the following? Means whatever the options are given here, from that you have to choose what can be the cause of recurrent abortion. The option 1 is malpresentation, option 2 is placenta previa, option 3 is cervical incompetence, and option D is MTP. So for this option A, if you will think this malpresentation can never serve as a cause of recurrent abortion. Yes, if it is associated with any other complications, this may serve as a problem, but directly this can never serve as a cause of recurrent abortion. And next, coming to this placenta previa also, as it is a part of this antepartum hemorrhage, as it is a type of antepartum hemorrhage, so this may not serve as a answer. Next one is cervical incompetence. That means leading to or there is some kind of problem in the cervical muscle or cervix which may not support the growing uterus. And the MTP means the medical termination of pregnancy, which mostly or usually it is done intentionally. So let us see what can be the answer. The answer is option C, that is cervical incompetence. Now why the cervical incompetence can serve as an answer? Because when the uterus contains a bulk amount of things like the fetus, the growing fetus, the amniotic fluid is there, the placenta is there, everything together, that puts a pressure over the cervix and the cervical os. So if there is any weakening in the cervical muscle or cervix is present, that can directly lead to the opening of the cervix. Now if I will show you, the cervix used to hold the things up like this. So if there is any problem happens with the cervical area or the cervical muscle, that will stretch the cervix like this, and it will gradually open with the increasing weight of the growing fetus and everything inside the uterus. So which will ultimately lead to the abortion, recurrent abortion. So here in this question the option will be the cervical incompetence. Going next, question number 3. Which of the following vaccine commonly is given to the pregnant mothers Number 1 is measles, number 2 is TPD, number 3 is BCG, and number 4 is tetanus. So, as you all know, the answer here, I think I should not give much more explanation regarding this because this is a very common question. So, the answer, let us see. The option is tetanus, which is the answer. And according to the Indian immunization schedule, it is being fixed that just to stop any kind of active and passive transportation of the infection to the mother, here we have decided the Indian immunization schedule has given or prescribed the tetanus as a 2 dose of tetanus should be given to the mother. The first dose should be given as soon as the woman is identified with the pregnancy, and the next dose or the second dose that has to be given immediate 4 weeks after the first dose. Okay. So moving forward, next one is identify the instrument. So here let me just make it clear, nowadays in many of the questions, the question it is being coming as like identify the instrument, identify this position. So I think it is important to put in some of the questions related to this instruments and positions. So here the question number 4 is identify the instrument. So let us see what are the options are there. Is it a uterine sound? Is it a uterine curate? Is it IS spatula or it is a cervical dilator? So what do you think it can be? Answer just think and let me check the answer. So the option C, the IS spatula. Now let me explain you what is this IS spatula. It is a spatula which is used basically in the cases of collecting the pap smear in order to collect the sample in the cases of cervical carcinomas. And जैसे मैं आपको अगर दिखाऊं यहाँ पे, if you will see the instrument, this long part of this IS spatula, it is inserted into the vaginal cervical canal and it is rotated in 360 degree to collect the sample or to collect the cells. Now, what is the purpose of this spatula? It looks like a wooden one. So this IS spatula, it usually comes as a wooden one. Why? Because this surface of this wooden spatula, it helps to collect much more cells as a sample in its pores. So for that only we use this wooden spatula or wooden IS spatula in the cases of pap smear collection of sample. And this long end, as I told you, it is inserted in the cervical canal and rotated in 360 degree and the sample is collected. And this wider part, this also has one of the use. And what is the use of this part is, it is in the cases, it is usually inserted in the lateral wall of vagina in order to collect the samples to identify any kind of hormonal issues or hormonal abnormalities. Okay. So let us see what's next is there. Up next, one more instrument is there, that is identify the instrument. So let me help you. What does it look like? It looks like a forceps. So let us see what are the options are there. There are sponge holding forceps, whether it's a sponge holding forceps, whether it's a backbox forceps, whether it's abdominal wall retractor or it's a vaginal speculum. So what do you think what can be the answer? Let me check the answer. The answer is backbox forceps. So I think you all might have known what is the backbox forceps because it is a forceps or it is a kind of forceps which is used for holding the tubular kind of structures, and this instrument, basically this backbox forceps, it is used in the cases of tubectomy kind of things. And as you can clearly see here, this tip of this like backbox forceps, it is not sharp. You can say like this is a unsharp kind of instrument or forceps which cannot cause or damage to the nearby structure or any other organs. So for today, for this OBG portion, this much is enough, and I hope you all have got some from this video, and we hope all of you to join. Thank you.